Hello everyone, this is Monstertaming coming at you with another Kindred Fates video. This time, we're going to be talking about this new announcement we just got. So, before we get started, I want to go ahead and give a disclaimer. There have been no pictures, nothing like that. I try my best to put it into the title that this is not like a new Kindred reveal. If that didn't come across correctly enough and you thought that there was new titles, I apologize. I wasn't trying to clickbait you, and I completely understand if you want to click away from the video now. But for anyone who wants to hear about the news itself and some speculation on this news, let's get started. Thank you all so much to our Artificers for participating and contributing to the World Boss Design Challenge. Whether it was your paragraphs of thoughtful descriptions and insight, or just voting on a topic you cared about, you all had a direct impact on the game. Not only that, you guys actually made something really awesome together, and I can't wait to start. I can't wait to start implementing it. There are so many great concepts discussed, and I seriously enjoyed working with you all on them. We'll be sure to keep you updated on the boss's progress as development continues. That is exciting in of itself. But now, let's get into the real meat of it. For those who aren't Artificers, let's run down what they came up with. Summary of the Artificer World Boss Design Challenge. The boss shall be titled Shade Walker Atka, I think is how you pronounce that. Apologies, I will probably mispronounce a lot of things. Apparently that is a word in the Inuit language. And that is essentially the natives of North America and in and around Canada, I believe. Once again, my apologies if I'm mispronouncing any of these words. I tried to do some research to find out as much as I could before making this, but I might still get some things twisted. Apparently, it means guardian spirit in that language, which is interesting, and I'll get on to some speculation about that after we finish the announcement. It will be a currently unrevealed kinfolk. It will be a dark type. The encounter takes place in a spooky forest where certain trees move while the player isn't looking at them. Visibility will be low. It'll have a surprise attack brawler fighting style. The boss will hide in the shadows of trees. It will make direct use of melees, AoEs, rooting, and subtly telegraphed ranged grappling attacks from shadows to root and pull and then combo. Direct combat is interspersed with hide and seek phases. The boss creates fake shadowy decoys to hide itself before disappearing into the shadows. Nearby trees can be used for cover. If the player attacks the real boss instead of their decoys, while the decoys are still active, the boss becomes stunned. If the boss touches the lights from one of several actions around the area, the boss becomes stunned. Defeating the boss grants access to a new area that is otherwise inaccessible. So, I would like to just delve right into this. This is so much. So we've gotten a lot more information than meets the eye here. So this is our first real look at bosses. We've gotten Skarna, the Salamander boss, revealed, but we knew essentially nothing about them. This, we have a lot to go on. We know that bosses will be able to use environments, like they'll be interactive with the lights. They'll have decoys. They will do like hide and seek type things. So all of this will give us a really good insight onto what bosses could possibly be in the future going forward, not just this boss, because now we know a glimpse of what is possible. For my speculation, I think that while it is a dark type, there are two pretty likely choices for a lean here, and I think it will almost definitely have a lean. Either Gaia or Mecha. And those would go into two completely different directions. Now, with this name meaning Guardian Spirit, it could mean nothing, but I know Kindred Fates loves to have the depth and mystery to the game, and especially with how they like to have a duality to the game, that could be interesting. By duality, I mean, it's not always black and white. So this Shade Walker could very well be protecting something, and it, just because it's a dark type does not necessarily mean it's evil, especially when it has a lean, maybe like a Mecha or Gaia, like I was saying. It could genuinely be a guardian of an area that you're trying to get to, and perhaps this area you go to, you didn't know that this kinfolk was guarding it, and you beat them and go on through, and then this area is put into danger. Or maybe it's like a challenge where they're testing you to see if you're worthy to enter something. They don't necessarily need to be an evil antagonist to be defeated. This challenge can come across and a multitude of ways. Talking about why it might possibly be a mecha. So we have the brawler fighting style, which is very reminiscent of mecha. Then we also have melee attacks with ranged attacks that pull, and then combo. Those are very mecha. Like, we literally have Hook right now. That sounds almost exactly like Salamander's fighting style. For those specifics, it obviously has more than that. But for what Salamander has AoE, melee, rooting, and grappling. Salamander would not necessarily be subtle or like hiding and stuff and doing hide and seek, but everything else has very reminiscent of Salamander's fighting style, and Salamander does have Hook, so maybe this could possibly be a mecha lean. It could maybe be a mecha type built by the people in this forest who want to keep people away from this area and don't want outsiders to come in, and they value their privacy. The mecha could just be a Shade Walker. Guardian Spirit could be the name of it that the people gave it because this is the guardian of their forest. Another thing, because mechas, as far as we know, are man-made, I believe. Someone can correct me in the comments if I'm way off base there, but I do recall hearing mechas, or at least some mechas, will be man-made. As for the root aspect of it, it's a little bit less of a mecha-like, and that brings me to why it might possibly have a Gaia type. Because if you could root and pull and then combo, the roots could be almost like minions, quote-unquote, kind of like Kadoki has Wicked Thorns, and the pull could be like vines or something like that, because you're in a forest, so maybe they can make use of the trees. The gnarled branches could reach out and grab you and pull you into the shadows, and then combos could happen on you there. In that case, I think it might be like almost like a spider, because it could also use its web and whatnot to pull you in. Especially if it's a pure dark type, it might very well be a spider, because that would give a perfect idea for roots and pulls into the forest, and the web could pull you to root you in a place or pull you in if you didn't want to go with the more Gaia lean. So there are 3 ideas for what it could be. For the dark type, a mecha type, a pure dark type, a mecha type, and a Gaia type. And there's so many possibilities here. This is very exciting because that I can be speculating on this. I can start speculating on Scar no more. I'm going to start speculating and giving other boss ideas. Let's look and see if there's anything else that catches my eye before we move on. So yeah, the decoys there, that could also have something to do with a mecha type. You're using holograms or something. Could just be a standard dark type thing of making like genuine shadow clones, Naruto style. And touching the lights, one of the lanterns around the area, while I don't necessarily get any speculation for what the creature could be from that, and except maybe it's like a genuine shadow monster, perhaps, being the truest representation of a dark type. If it's weak to light, and these lanterns are here, and it's guarding something, because there's an area that's inaccessible, then maybe people blocked it in from the outside. Maybe they do not want it to come out. Maybe it's not necessarily guarding an entrance, but rather it's trapped in this area by these lanterns, and it can't come out because people have chased it and trapped it here. And that could even be something, is that maybe it's become restless over time. Maybe it wasn't evil in the first place, but people were terrified of it because of its dark nature and trapped it here, and it became restless over time and went crazy and just attack anyone who passes by, and the only thing holding it in place are the lanterns. And maybe you get a mission because the lanterns are fading, and maybe they're made of some special material or something that keeps it in place, and the creature might finally make its way out if you don't put a stop to it or something like that. Yeah, please let me know if you guys have any speculations in the comments below. This has been really cool and really fun to speculate about, and I look forward to many more speculations based on this information in the future. Till next time, this has been Monstertamer signing off. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye, God bless, and see you on the next one. Bye-bye.